Yes, guys, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Now, I want to bring someone out, and this video won't be long at all. I just want to talk about a certain thing that is a little irritating and stuff. Like with the Tanaka stuff and the Gus Heyman stuff and all the comparisons between the two players about we need, and it's all over social media. Just have a look at any Tanaka tweet or any type of player tweet that isn't Gus Heyman. We need this. We need a star signing. We need a big name. We need this. We need that. It's literally all over Twitter. Now, I have a lot of problems with that. Because one, you don't. And two, how do you know they're not a big name? Because you don't know them. In Tanaka's example, I was speaking to my girlfriend, who is from Asia, right? She doesn't know many, if any, Japanese players. But she's heard of Tanaka. Because of some of the good things he's done in his career. He might not be a big name here. He might not be a big name in Europe. But he is a big name. There's a whole other side of the world, people. And he's not Son level names, obviously. He's a big name. A lot of fans in Asia that are relatively comfortable with football and understand football will have heard of this guy. He's done some good things in his career. He's scored big goals against big teams. You know, he plays for Japan, national side. And he's done good things there on the world stage in front of thousands and millions of people, whatever. He is a known quantity. Maybe not to English fans or European fans necessarily, unless you're in Germany, obviously. Known in Germany, by the way. They like him there. He's linked with a lot of Bundesliga sides near the start of the window. That doesn't mean he's not a big name, just because you've not heard of him. Look, I didn't hear of Ramazani, more than a month before we signed him? Yeah, a lot of people did. A lot of people hype him up. They think he's a big name, a big player for us. I didn't sit there and go, nah, never heard of him. No, it's... Did anyone hear of Mateus Click? Did anyone hear of Samik Saiz? Did anyone hear of, I could go on. There's loads in there. But Dallas, when he joined, did anyone think he'd be a big player for us? Luke Ayling didn't think he would be a big player for us. Caveat to that is, of course, those guys were known. Those guys improved when Bielsa came. Right, that's the point. You get the right players for the manager, and you inherit this player who might not be a big name in the UK, might not be a big name in Europe, but becomes a big name, becomes a statement signing. If you're just looking for statements, there's no guarantee of success. Of course, if you got Gus Heyman, right, who is a lot more expensive, but if you got him, of course, it's more guaranteed success than Tanaka because he's played at this level and done it at this level. All right? I'm not denying that. You don't have to compare the two in the sense that this guy isn't known here, which means he's not a statement signing. He's not, let's not be like that. He's at a level, for me personally, my belief, he can play higher than this. Players need that chance. Sometimes it happens at 18, sometimes it happens at 25, 26, 27. Players need that chance on the big stage, surrounded by top players, to show what they can do, and that's where you see them. We can create a statement signing by watching them play. We've had plenty of statement signings in the past that have not quite been a statement signing, that have failed. Look, we've had players that were and did succeed, of course. And this is not denying that a statement signing isn't good. It's excellent. It doesn't mean it isn't one because you've not heard of a person or a player, right? Like I said. Judge the player fully on what you've seen. If you've not seen him, wait. Just wait before you say this is underwhelming. Because you're watching play and you just reserve that information. Just wait till you see him play. And you think he's underwhelming, fair enough. Like someone buys you a new pair of shoes and you've not seen them yet and you go, they're rubbish. How do you know? Star, aren't they? How much were they? 40 quid, rubbish. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean any of that. Reserve judgment for players. Now, for the preparation for the Tanaka video, which will come out as soon as he's announced, by the way, I will do the scout report. I've not needed to watch anything because I've watched this guy in the last 2 years more than anyone because I've done work on him for some people. Some analysis. I've done analysis, and he was the case study I used to show a young lad how a midfielder operates. He was the case study. It was Tanaka. Because he's a very good footballer, and he's a very smart footballer, and he moves very well, and does the basics very well. So yeah, just real quick, this is the video I did. This is the analysis here. 34-minute video, 7-minute clips. I watched, it was 11 games to find these clips and to get a real good understanding of the player. Just talking about him, what he does, his entire style of play, and why he's an excellent all-round midfielder, basically. As you can see, yeah. Yeah, loads of stuff. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've seen this guy too much. Way too much. Way too much. I just want to show you guys that. So yeah, people, that's just because he's not a huge name here, just because he's not a big name that everyone's heard of, doesn't mean he's not going to be a statement. Doesn't mean he can't be a statement. If we base a statement purely on names we've heard of, look at every Premier League club and how many of them big name, big money signings actually work. They don't work because the name's big. They work because of the player and how good the player is, and if the player fits, if the player's motivated, if the player wants to play at that level, if the player wants to reach the next level. That's how a player works. Forget the name, forget where they've been. The recruitment team have identified this player. I've seen a lot of this player, as I've just shown, so I like him a lot. I think he's a very good player. Is he Gus Hamer? No. Can he do the unbelievable, crazy things like Gus Hamer can? No. And if I'm being really honest, people, I'm not convinced that it is between a Hamer and a Tanaka. I think they're different. I think they could be both. I think the comparison is a Hamer and a Salai. They're different profiles, they're different players who do different things. I think Hamer will play higher up. Tanaka will play that box to box. Get the right players. Not just the names. Names are great, but get the right ones as well. We need the right ones to become the names, to become the statements. But this is a comparison, not just him, but other players. It's not just Tanaka, there's loads of them. People wanted certain players. Didn't get them. Johnny Rowe, for example, failure. Isn't. Because there's names that can be made. No one knew Johnny Rowe a year ago. No one knew him. Nobody knew him. He made a name for himself. Well, I say nobody knew him. What is going on with the light, by the way? Nobody knew him out of Norwich. He made a name for himself. Players need that opportunity. He's played well on the big stage in big games. I'd love a Gus Hamer. But am I going to be disappointed if we don't get him? No. When people watch Tanaka, when he gets into the side and they watch him, people will realise he's a top player. So don't go out there and say this is underwhelming, he's underwhelming. You don't know about him, and you're kind of going, not too sure about this one. Fine, fair enough. But don't have an overall outcome of a judgment of a person or a player based on the fact that you've not heard of him. There's a lot of players I've not heard of that have done very, very well in their career. Look at Brighton, for example, and most of their players. Click. I heard a Click before he came. And the manager wants this guy. The manager wants the player and they get him. That's your best chance of success. The manager gets all the players he wants. They don't have to be statements, they have to be the right one the manager wants. He gets them names and it doesn't work. And that's on the manager. That's on the recruitment team. The manager, whatever. And the players. Just because it's not a huge name doesn't mean it's not a huge player. Statements will be made on the pitch when they play together and they look ridiculously good. That's the statement. If they all play well, they all do a statement on the pitch as opposed to just being a statement when they join, That's how you go up. You don't just go up because you're bringing names. The names have to be fully ready and fully motivated and fit what you're doing. So yeah, that's all I want to say. We don't need a name. We need good players. If that good player is a name, fine. But if they're not, doesn't mean that underwhelming or whatever the names on social media I'm seeing, it's a bit wild, to be honest. Most players that became heroes for Leeds United didn't come to Leeds United as that. They were made that by the club. Well, in my lifetime anyway. So you don't need that when you play as the manager wants. All the players that the manager wants, Buendia, Pookie, weren't big names. Look what they became for the club. But yeah, that's all, people. I'll see you guys in a bit. Scout report will come out when he gets announced, so keep an eye out for that. Bye-bye.